Imagine swearing you'd never love again, only for fate to bring back the one man who broke you. What would you do? Push him away forever, or let destiny rewrite your story? This is the story of Claire, a single mother who carried years of heartbreak and silence. She thought love was behind her, locked away with painful memories. But sometimes, fate doesn't knock. It breaks the door wide open. And when the past returned, Claire had to face the one truth she had spent years running from. She once said, with tears in her eyes, "I'll never love again." Those words weren't just a declaration, they were a shield, a wall she had built around her heart to survive the pain of betrayal, abandonment, and nights spent alone wondering what went wrong. Her name was Claire, a young woman who had given her entire soul to a man who vanished when she needed him most. For years, she carried the weight of that heartbreak. Every smile she wore in public was carefully painted over wounds that never healed. Friends told her to move on, that she deserved happiness. But inside, Claire believed love was no longer meant for her. Instead, she poured herself into raising her daughter, little Sophie, making sure the child never felt the emptiness she carried. One rainy evening, Claire returned home after work, her umbrella dripping on the porch as she juggled Sophie's school books. As she pushed the door open, she felt the silence of her small home wrap around her. She thought it was just another ordinary night, but fate had other plans. From the hallway came the sound of movement. Startled, she set down her bag and carefully stepped forward. Sophie was in her room, safe. But then Claire froze as she saw a tall figure standing by the window. Her breath caught in her throat. The man turned slowly, and in that instant, time seemed to stop. It was him, James, the man who had once held her heart, the man she had sworn never to forgive, the man she believed she would never see again. Claire's voice trembled. "What are you doing here?" James's eyes softened, though his face carried the weight of years gone by. "I know I don't deserve to be here," he said quietly. "But I had to see you. I had to tell you the truth." Claire's heart pounded with a storm of emotions, anger, confusion, and an old, unshakable love she had tried so hard to bury. She clenched her fists. "You walked away, James. You left me when I needed you most. You don't get to just show up now." James stepped closer, his voice breaking. "I didn't leave because I wanted to. I left because I was forced to. Back then, my family, they threatened to destroy everything if I stayed with you. I was young, scared, and weak, but I never stopped loving you, not for a single day." Her chest ached as memories flooded back. The laughter, the promises, the night he disappeared without explanation. And now, here he was, telling her the words she had longed to hear, but far too late. At that moment, a small voice interrupted. "Mommy? Who is he?" Sophie stood in the doorway, her wide eyes filled with innocence. James turned to her, his breath catching. He had never seen her before, but something deep in his soul told him the truth. "She's mine, isn't she?" James whispered. Claire's lips trembled. She had hidden this truth for years, protecting her daughter from the pain of abandonment. And yet now, the secret could no longer stay buried. With tears in her eyes, she nodded. "Yes, Sophie is your daughter." James's knees buckled as he dropped to the floor, tears streaming down his face. "I've missed her entire life, but I swear if you let me, I'll spend every day making it right." Claire felt her walls begin to crack. She wanted to scream, to push him away, to remind him of the years she suffered alone. But as Sophie tilted her head and asked softly, "Daddy?" something inside Claire shifted. For the first time in years, she saw James not as the man who had broken her, but as the father Sophie had never known. Over the weeks that followed, James fought to earn back the trust he had lost. He showed up for Sophie's school plays, helped her with homework, and brought laughter back into their home. Slowly, cautiously, Claire began to see glimpses of the man she had once loved, the man who still made her heart race despite all the scars. And when one evening James knelt before her, not with promises of wealth or grand gestures, but with a simple plea, "Let me love you again, not as the man I was, but as the man I've become," Claire realized her words from years ago were fading. She had said she would never love again. But fate had sent him back. So now I'll ask you, if you were in Claire's place, would you give James a second chance, or would you keep the door to your heart forever closed? Claire had said, "I'll never love again." But fate gave her no choice. It returned the man who once shattered her heart, only to make him fight for a second chance. The question now is, if you were in her place, would you forgive him and start over, or would you close the door forever? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget, sometimes the most unbelievable stories are the ones that truly happen.